Bliss and Peace. There is a difference between the type of bliss that comes from soaking in a warm bath after a hard day's gardening, and the bliss and peace experienced via spiritual experience. It often accompanies the experience of divine love, a love of all beings, every one of our fellow creatures, from the tiniest snail to the largest elephant. A love that results in a feeling that one is totally averse to hurting or harming anything, even the smallest ant. A love often personified as eros, divine love, and translated into Cupid, human love. Although the heading says bliss and peace, the level of release and emotion generated can result in tears. Let go of constraints, let go of judgments and social restraints, and all that is left is a sense of massive release, where you can be you. The experience heals too. Navigating allabout.heaven.org to obtain more details on Bliss and Peace. Our website, allabout.heaven.org, can be used to obtain both a more detailed explanation of Bliss and Peace and many observations, examples of people who benefited from this type of experience. Go to the homepage and click on Observations. Click on Types. Now find the section on Invisible Input and click on a link labelled Bliss and Peace. And you are presented with an explanation of this experience. Now scroll down the page to the bottom and you will find a great number of observations, examples in alphabetic order. Select the one you require. Click on it and the full description will appear. Here is an example from William Wordsworth's Consummate Happiness. If ever happiness hath lodged with man, that day consummate happiness was mine. Wide-spreading, steady, calm, contemplative. Gently did my soul put off her veil and, self-transmuted, stood naked as in the presence of her God. As when I walked, a comfort seemed to touch a heart that had not been disconsolate. Strength came where weakness was not known to be, at least not felt, and restoration came, like an intruder knocking at the door of unacknowledged weariness. I had hopes and peace. Exercise, pulsed noise and trance. There is evidence that practices like silent meditation provide inspiration, wisdom and insight. But from the evidence, and completely contrary to expectation, bliss and peace and even divine love can be achieved from a mixture of frenetic exercise, such as running, jumping or dancing, for example, the euphoria of runner's high, beating or pulsed sound, heartbeat sounds, drumming, chanting, rhythmic poetry or some other pulsed sound, like clapping or a metronome. Music, which is optional but can add interest. This is because wisdom and inspiration require a quiet mind to allow intelligible information to get through. But bliss, peace and divine love need the intellectual mind and senses to be stilled, either via deprivation, where it is more difficult to still the mind but easier to still the senses, or via overload, where the senses are overloaded, sight, hearing, smell, nervous and bodily sensations, and the chattering mind is subjugated. We can cite many examples where this combination works, and we have provided some example videos of what is involved in the playlist. Sufi whirling, trance dance, modern rave dancing, Sufi sakir, a swaying or circling dance with chanting, Hasidic, Jewish swaying and chanting, Welsh Methodist revival jumping dance, shamanic and indigenous people dancing, Quaker and Shaker dancing. The first Quakers and Shakers were so named because they shook or quaked, accompanied by the rhythmic stamping of feet and chanting. African tribal dances with leaping and chanting. Although there are many different African dances, most involve drumming and very energetic and prolonged dancing. The dancing mania of the 1600s in Europe, the descriptions of it being a plague and causing illness, were added later by religious authorities, aiming to stamp out anything which might challenge their authority. Dancing mania was a way of achieving direct spiritual experience, ecstasy, visions, bliss, peace and healing, without the need of the church or priests. And tarantella. We have provided a modern version of the tarantella, but it was once a very wild dance. One of the videos is about the Great Jihad in Chechnya. The Great Jihad means war on the ego, and its objective is annihilation or ego death, the final and ultimate spiritual experience. And it is clear from the video that many are experiencing some form of spiritual experience, as they are in ecstasy. But no one except the little blind boy appears to have reached this heady summit. Ego death is his alone. But the implication is that this form of dancing is a route to this ultimate of experiences. A Dervish in Ecstasy by Farid Ud Din Attar. English version by Afkam Jabandi and Dick Davis. Original language Persian Farsi. A frenzied dervish, mad with love for God, sought out bare hills where none had ever trod. Wild leopards kept this madman company. His heart was plunged in restless ecstasy. He lived within this state for 20 days, dancing and singing in an exultant praise. There's no division, we two are alone. The world is happiness, and grief has flown. Die to yourself, no longer stay apart, but give to him who asks for it, your heart. The man whose happiness derives from him escapes existence, and the world grows dim. Rejoice forever in the friend. Rejoice till you are nothing but a praising voice.